7 myths British people believe about America. Mom's back with another reaction. Basically, it's just stereotypes about America.
Yeah.
So things you might think Americans do or have or whatever that we believe that it's just different.
So I might actually think this as well.
Yeah, you might think
Yeah.
some stereotypes and then this is going to like debunk stuff. Or you might say it's true.
Right.
So we'll see.
Hello, this video is sponsored by BritBox, the premier streaming service for Britain. News that Britain and America lost in the pond, and one of those memos pertains to myths. Specifically, myths that British people, including myself at one point, believed about the United States of America. But it is amazing what 14 years of living in the United States will do to your understanding and your perceptions about this very.
He don't sound like he's been living there
I
for
was
14
just about
years,
to
does
say, his English accent is still strong.
It's stronger than mine.
Yeah, it's so strong.
Country. For instance, I learned early on that they don't have Cornish pasties, and I learned slightly less earlier on, so later, that Michigan has them. But I don't live in Michigan, so one way or another I still have to have them imported. A quick reminder that if you're not subscribed to this channel, you can change that fact about your life right now.
To be fair, we found out last night that Americans have everything other than curly whirlies and Freddos.
Yeah, I've got to send about 50,000 million curly whirlies to America, and I am.
Yeah, good luck.
I am.
But these myths go way beyond the absence of quintessentially British food. And so now that I've lived here for about a seventh of a century, it's time to outline some of the myths that us British believe about America and Americans.
Everyone
This is a funny one, because I think television gives us this
You know what? That is true, actually. Because I still have a habit of like doing that. You know, because like I watch all the American Home videos.
Yeah.
And they're all so big. And then like when I look at like the average American home size to ours, I'm like, oh, they all live in bigger houses.
I think that they all live in big
No,
houses.
but they don't, not all of them do.
No, I know, but that's what I would believe as well.
Yeah. Because
I would believe.
like we only see American houses when it's big.
And they've all got swimming pools.
Yeah. But from learning from my Twitch chat, like a lot of them don't. A lot of them will have like small houses or like just like we call them bungalows, like the 1-story ones.
Yeah.
Which to be fair will still be bigger than ours.
And they've all got them swinging patio chairs.
Oh yeah, that you like. Yeah.
I like them swinging patio chairs.
But they're not all those houses that we see in the movies. Not all of them.
notion that Americans do all live in giant houses like the McAllisters do in Home Alone, but it's not entirely the case.
That's
Sure,
a
I mean,
nice house.
statistically,
Oh, like
American
that.
houses
See,
are
that
on
is a big
average
house.
larger than their
They are
UK
big.
counterparts. There are a number of reasons for this, which I outlined in this video. But to say that all Americans live in really large houses is a complete fabrication of
Right,
any...
that's true because obviously America has like the poor areas as well where they'll be smaller than even our homes. So like,
Oh, will they?
oh yeah.
No, I thought they would still be bigger than our houses.
No, well, not even poor areas. I'm pretty sure New York,
Yeah.
New York City,
Yeah.
they have tiny homes because they can't fit. It's like London. It's like
It's too packed.
we see them on like. Have you ever seen oh, what's that serial killer show? You.
Yeah, I have.
Have you seen You?
Yeah.
They've got like very small houses there. Actually, they're still big on the inside.
They
though.
have them things where you go up the stairs.
Yeah, on the outside.
Yeah, like. Yeah.
But they're more like apartments.
Are they apartments?
I don't know.
Are they
but-
what we call flats?
Well, I call it apartments. You call it flats.
Yeah, but I think you're turning into American, aren't you?
No, but I swear I did that before.
No,
I don't
no.
know. I don't know.
anything resembling the truth. And I was a good example of this before I became a YouTube sensation, because when I first moved to Chicago, we had to do things on a budget. Between me and my wife, we weren't making a great income, and this is a major city, so we had to sort of settle for an apartment whose dimensions were 300 square feet. And for those of you who don't know, that's about the size of a shoebox, roughly.
Wait,
you know.
do you know how big square feet your house is?
No.
Yeah, we don't do square feet. We just work out the size by rooms.
Yeah, by room. So it's a 3
Yeah.
bed, 2 bed, 1 bed.
Yeah.
We had to leave our shoes outside the door. That's how small it was. And it is worth reiterating, I think, that the cost of living in the United States does fluctuate massively across the country. When I lived in Indiana, just one state over, we were paying about $530 a month. That's basically unheard of in Chicago. And it's certainly unheard of in New York City,
That's
which of course was the city in which the show Friends is set. And I think it's shows like that gave us this impression that Americans were all living in big apartments.
Oh, right. So you're saying in New York, there's
That's
big apartments.
cheap. $530 per month.
Yeah, but it won't be that now.
But that's cheap. I mean, God,
Yeah.
you can't get anything for
No.
900.
Yeah, our like standard rent price now is like
£900.
yeah, you struggle really looking for
Yeah.
anything like below like 800.
Yeah. Oh God, you just wouldn't.
can't find
You
it
just
no more,
wouldn't.
can you?
No.
And
East
speaking of
Street-
houses, Americans were all living in big apartments.
Each street has 1,000 of houses.
And speaking of houses, I was alerted to a tweet recently from a British person who couldn't believe that American addresses go way up into the thousands.
That's
and
mad.
their belief on this was that every street in the United States has thousands of houses on it. And this was a belief that I used to have because the country is absolutely massive. So you almost expect...
You know what though? But I never actually thought that America had big house numbers.
Have they really got 1,000 houses on the street?
No, they don't have 1,000 houses on one street. Like
Right.
not like one street in our mind.
Yeah.
Like the street will be split.
But
But-
it's still one long 1,000 houses.
But yeah, but like their houses will go up to like house number 6,000. But I don't know. He's going to tell us exactly why.
Crazy.
it to house that many people. But the thing is, there are way fewer people in this country per square mile than there are in Britain, so it doesn't add up. And that's when I got looking into it. And in a previous video, I outlined it doesn't really work like that. On any given street, they don't start at the number 1 and then end at 10,000. Often, and it's the case here in Chicago, you'll usually have a string of houses, for example, all in the 6,000s on a given street.
Wow.
And that's because it's about 6 miles from the center of downtown.
Oh wait, yeah, that was it.
Them houses are massive.
Yeah, beautiful, aren't they? That was it. So if the house number is like 6,005,
Yeah.
it don't mean there's 6,000 houses.
No.
It just starts at 6,000 because it's 6 miles from like the center. Weird, isn't it?
Yeah. Do you know one thing?
What?
Another thing I wanted to know about the American houses. Do they have a postman? And do they have letterboxes?
Oh, they have mailboxes.
But in the front door?
No.
They don't have any
No,
letterboxes
you would have seen it in like movies. You see like in the front of their garden.
Yeah, where they put the newspapers.
They have like the pole with like the box.
Is that standard though? I thought they had one of those, but they would have a letterbox in the front door as well.
No, I think they just have mailboxes.
Oh, so the postman comes and...
Wait, how does it work in apartments though? Maybe apartments do.
Right.
And they post it in an apartment door and then they pick it up. I don't know. I don't know about apartments. But houses is just mailbox.
Oh.
I'm pretty, from what I've seen.
So that's easy for the postman then, isn't it?
Yeah, because he don't have to go
You
up to
don't
the
have to
door.
go up to the
Yeah, you
door,
don't have to
yeah.
get attacked by the dog or nothing.
Exactly. Our
But it-
postman gets attacked.
They do have postmen because they need to deliver the mail still.
Oh no, I know they have a post. Well, I was actually going to ask that, and I thought that's a bit of a stupid
No,
question.
they do have a mail.
Because then I thought, well, how are they going to get the mail? Don't be stupid. Don't ask
They
that.
call him the mailman now.
Mailman.
1 mile in from that, they're all 5,000s. Another mile, they're all 4,000s, etc., etc. Now, not every city in the US does it from the center of the city. It could be from another part of the city or just some other central point. But that's sort of a general rule for how the numbering works on US houses. This one comes up again and again, that the United States is
Do you think the US has a history?
Sorry? Is it hot? I'm looking at his glasses. He's got the same glasses on as Abraham Lincoln. I can't
That's
even
who?
talk. Is it?
Abraham Lincoln.
It's Abraham Lincoln, isn't it? Is it? I don't know.
Oh, wait. Well,
It is, I'm
wait.
sure.
Oh, as his t-shirt.
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't realise.
it is Abraham, isn't it?
That is Abraham, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
Do you think the US has history?
what do you mean history?
Like, you know our history is like,
Robin Hood.
well, Robin Hood, you got the
Of course they
gladiators,
have
the
got
warriors.
history. They're bound to have, aren't they?
What's like the oldest point of America can you think of off the top of your head?
Oh God, now you put me on the spot, Lewis. I'm going with Abraham Lincoln and the big hat.
You know what? That's fair play.
Yeah,
That is old.
that's
that is old.
history. And
Oh no, here's the easy question. How old do you think America has been like established as America? As like United States of America? How old do you think it is?
I don't know.
Have a guess.
Well, I don't know. Went around. Didn't
So
I?
So the UK is thousands of years.
Romans.
You think it's as old as Romans?
Yeah.
America.
Am I right? No. Romans would have invaded.
America.
Well,
You think Romans was in the United States of America? Romans.
I don't know. Look, you're putting me on the spot now. I've got a headache.
Let's go.
It's such a young country that it basically doesn't have a history. And I've always thought of this perception of America to be quite a lazy one. Because even if you go back to 1776 through to the present day, yes, it is a short amount of time in comparison to the history.
Oh, it's 300 years, by the way. 350 years.
That's a bit silly, really, isn't it? Because everywhere is going to have history.
That's true.
If you're in the past, obviously they've got past, and that's classed as history, isn't it?
Yeah, but a lot of people like to joke around and say like America don't have any history because they're so like new. Like because like they've been around for like 350 years.
Oh.
But 350 years to us, that's a long time ago.
Yeah.
It's just because like other countries have been thousands of years and
So it weren't the Romans then? It didn't go back that far?
Mum, the Romans wasn't roaming around 300 years ago. That was a very long time.
Oh.
Very long time.
History of Britain, but think about all of the insane things that happened in that period.
That's true.
And even if you ignore
Yeah,
all
that's
that,
all
there's
history
one
right
thing
there.
that we tend to forget because we don't get taught it very deeply in Britain, and that is the thousands of years of native history that happened before we even turned up.
True.
I was
Romans.
absolutely blown away, not
I don't think the Romans ever went to America.
I'm sure they did, you know.
They did.
Well, someone went to America.
Oh yeah, definitely
Who
someone.
was it then? You don't even know yourself, do you?
No, it was a guy with a compass on a boat.
Christopher Columbus.
I think it is.
Is it?
I think it's Christopher
I got
Columbus.
told he fell off the edge.
Well, he either found America or he fell off the edge of the earth. I
He
don't know.
did, didn't he?
I don't know. Are you a
Yeah.
flat earther?
Eh?
Are you a flat earther?
Yeah, I think it's flat. What? No, but it's got to be on it because you'll fall off if you go upside down.
Wait, are you actually a flat?
Don't you think it's flat?
You think the earth is flat?
Yeah.
Oh, let's just play the video.
No, you see
Actually,
it's
that-
round. You can see it's round.
So it's round,
No, you can see it's round, but it's a bit weird.
but you think it's flat.
What
So
did
you think you'll fall off the edge?
well, no, I'm good. Let's move on. No, move on.
be weird. When I went to Cahokia Mounds here in Illinois, many hundreds of years ago, Cahokia Mounds used to be a native city, and it had about...
So like before America 350 years ago,
Yeah.
it was just Native Americans there. So it was just like people there.
So this was America 350 years ago.
Whoa, I think this is like an updated photo. It's not a 350-year-old photo.
No, I
But
know.
this is like their grounds.
Wow, look at that.
20,000 people, which might not sound like a lot by both American and British standards, but back in the day, that was more than London. And I once read about this volcano eruption that happened in present-day Oregon a few thousand years ago. And this eruption was witnessed and recorded by Native Americans who were in the area at the time. And long story short, they basically saw the origins of Crater Lake, which is absolutely
That is beautiful.
huge. To be honest, both
You know
Brits
that's
and
very
Americans
deep
love
as
their
well.
myths. I mean, we've got the Loch Ness Monster, you've got a cryogenically frozen Walt Disney, and this new mystery on BritBox, Sherwood, has got the lighters like label on Americans today as LG. The promo code lost in the
This BritBox, I think you see some Americans say it. It's how Americans watch like British TV.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just a sponsor.
is embarrassing. Also in my description below.
The US, Canada,
This one
are
is
basically the
embarrassing
same.
for me because
Did you
years
ever
ago
think
I
this?
believed that Canada and the United
Did you ever think that US and Canada are the same? Like similar people, same place?
Yeah,
Do you still think it?
yeah.
It's not the same though.
Why?
Like it's completely different. Like I would actually say like Canada is more like the UK.
Canada have them police on horses, don't they? What are they called? Or am I completely off on another planet today?
I don't know.
Mountain Patrol.
Mountain Patrol.
Is it Mountain Patrol? You know the...
I have no clue. I've never seen a Canadian police horse rider.
I think they do.
They might do.
I think
I
they have police on horses.
I actually don't know.
United States were basically the same country. And the reason that I believe that is, number one, I was 12, so cut me some slack.
Yeah,
Number
I thought that
two,
when I was
my only
younger.
sort of exposure to both countries was through the people, was through the way they spoke. And to my young ears, which couldn't yet differentiate these two accents, Macho Man Randy Savage and Bret Hart basically had the
used
same
to love
accent,
them.
just with an entirely
I remember you loving Bret Hart.
I used to love them.
I remember you loving Bret Hart.
different timber. And that's all I had to go on. And I think it's what
Wait. So Bret Hart, did you think was American? Because
Yeah,
he's Canadian.
all of them was American.
All the wrestlers.
Yeah.
But some might have been Canadian.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, it just showed there. Bret Hart's Canadian.
Oh.
accent,
talk the
just
same
with
though, don't
an
they?
entirely
They do
different
talk similar
timbre.
to us.
And that's all I had to go on. And I think it's what a lot of British people have to go on, because I still occasionally see those comments. Oh, what is the difference between Canada and America? Or is it essentially that one has Mounties and the other doesn't? And it's only since I moved here that I've become super aware of the substantial
The
difference
differences.
between the two countries. Completely different healthcare systems, completely different food,
really?
completely different...
Well, yeah, this is what I'm saying. I'm pretty sure Canada. This is why I'm saying it's like more similar to the UK.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Canada's system is like more like us. So they got a prime minister like us.
Oh, really?
They've got their healthcare like us. Well, yeah, because like their royal family is our royal family. They're under us.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Canada's king is our king.
No.
Or
Are you sure?
but I don't think it's like I don't think he has as much power, but they see him, they like respect him as the king.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Positive. I got a friend that lives in Canada.
You know.
I do, yeah. He did tell me. So I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say. Yeah.
No, I'm pretty sure I'm right.
Use of English. Right, in Britain we call it the loo, in America they call it a restroom, in Canada they call it a washroom. And I've
we
seen
don't
all
call it
manner
that.
of different examples of that kind of thing. In America they don't celebrate Boxing Day, in Canada they do. The Canadian dollar is different to the American dollar. In some ways they go with British English in places that America doesn't. And now that I'm older and I've
British
listened to
English?
some of the regionalisms throughout the United States, even the way Americans speak is different to how Canadians speak. I'm not an expert on that, so I'm not going to go into too much detail, but these differences certainly go way
Now you pointed out, I can't stop looking at his t-shirt and
I
then looking at him.
told you. He looks the same, doesn't he?
Well, yeah, he's right. He just wants to rock
Yeah.
the same glasses.
And the beard. He's got everything going on.
So he's Abraham Lincoln now.
Yeah.
beyond how the two countries pronounce the word about.
Well,
A vault.
Americans
I've touched
allow...
on this before, but I couldn't really do a video without including it in this list. This
Do you think Americans are loud?
Americans are loud.
Loud, yeah. Loud speaking. Just loud personalities.
No, it's not something that I would.
Well, you're quite a loud
I'm
person.
a loud person, yeah.
Yeah. But I think to like other Brits, they would be. Because I'm a quite loud person.
Yeah, you're a loud person. You're a very loud person.
All right.
You're louder than me. Very loud.
But like, so to us two, we might not see them as that loud. But to like other Brits.
I've never really given it much. Well, I've never met an American person.
Yeah, I suppose.
never-
But like on the TV shows, they always come out confident, speaking loud, and just.
Yeah,
But then that's acting.
that's
So-
yeah, but that's the same as British people, isn't it? When they're acting. But I've
Yeah.
never actually. Have you actually met an American person?
No.
And sat and had a conversation with an American. But nice,
Never.
wouldn't it?
It would be loud.
Should we go and see our friend over the pond?
Yeah, we could do. Should we go and message him?
Shall we?
perception that Americans are loud and boisterous. And I can understand on some level where that comes from, because I think the way Americans speak, it comes from a different part of the throat. So it's a bit more projected, right? Whereas us Brits, it's more
Projected.
sort of, I don't know, understated a lot of the time.
Oh yeah, this is how like I know I'm loud. Because when Drew was sat here, I was on stream. I had to tell her to like amplify her voice,
Yeah.
and then like I was actually trying to talk at her level, and I can't.
Right.
I genuinely don't know how how I don't know how to turn down my voice.
no.
Do you?
No.
Can you turn down your voice?
No. No.
No.
And your dad will always say to me, Debbie, why are you shouting? Why are you shouting?
You know what I think it is?
It's Grandad, isn't it?
No, I think we're deaf.
Probably.
Because you know how loud I am at headphones.
Well, Grandad's deaf, and I've always, you know, it's been.
we might be deaf.
Do you think? No, you're not. I will be deaf if we carry on listening to this. This is so loud.
No, I need them loud because I can't
this
hear
is
it.
really loud.
I think another reason that we think Americans are loud is how they present themselves in films. There might even have been a time in my life where I thought all Americans were loud just because Jim Carrey was. He's Canadian, isn't he? He is Canadian. And culturally speaking, I definitely have found that Americans speak at a higher volume when they're in restaurants together. But there are so many other examples of the opposite being true. On match day, after we've had a pint or six, you know, we're singing the songs of our team.
Oh, wait, okay, fair play, right? British people are quiet until we've drank.
Yeah.
Then we're loud.
Yeah.
Then we're loud. And like football when they're drinking at the pub, very loud.
But then they're quiet.
But then when they're not drunk, quiet.
Yeah, because when they're not drunk, they're getting over the drink, they've got a hangover, and then until they have a drink again, and then it's a vicious circle.
No, I honestly think it just comes down to like confidence, self-confidence. I think we lack self-confidence, unlike Americans.
I completely agree.
And the drink really makes us confident.
Agree.
Yeah.
Team who we love because they happen to be situated in the town that we were born in. And it's just what we do when we leave a nightclub, which, you know, I haven't done in 20 years. But when we did, you know, I'd be on the street yelling at traffic cones because that might have just been me. But what I'm saying is when we get drunk, we very much give Americans a run for their money. There's a loud person in all of us, right? And once we free ourselves of our inhibitions, we can let out all of the decibels we want.
But I think
that's not a call to action.
I think that's also got something to do with us not being so friendly.
Like judging.
Yeah, because we judge everybody, don't we?
Oh, British judge.
So
very
if you
judgy.
had someone not in a football stadium, like, you know, shouting and stuff like that,
you'd be getting rude looks.
Yeah, exactly. But and I think in America it's not. It's like, hey, how you doing? How you doing? You know, it's normal. Whereas it's just like we're a bit like that.
They actually say hello to random people on the street.
Yeah, whereas
we don't.
Yeah, but I think if we started doing that
would
probably have a lot of
more
football.
fights.
Loud people.
If strangers started saying hi to random strangers, some of them are going to get knocked out thinking they're getting robbed.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
It's merely an observation.
America's all walk around.
It's merely an observation.
America's all walk around in fanny packs.
Now this is really funny because
you do.
No, I love it, but we don't call them fanny packs. I call it a bum bag.
Oh, bum bags, yeah.
We call it a bum bag, but I used to always have my bum bag on.
You used to have
all the time.
This is only funny, not because of the image of Americans walking around with bum bags on, but it's because we call them bum bags and you call them fanny packs. And
wait, why?
It's really weird.
Why is it that we call them bum? Is it just like for us, we normally put it behind us? Because they call it fanny, which is the front.
Yeah, but I've no idea because...
Wait, does fanny mean the same fanny in America?
I don't know. What are you asking me for?
Wait, fanny in the UK means like vagina. I don't know. It might not mean it.
I don't really want to be sitting here discussing that with you. Do I?
No, but that's what it's called, a fanny pack.
Yeah, but we called it bum bags. Even from when I was a kid in the 70s, 80s.
Yeah.
It was a bum bag.
Yeah.
And they were really popular then. They were really popular in the 80s.
Bloody hilarious. It is also partly the visual because bum bags have never been cool, but this notion, which I occasionally read, that Americans are just always walking around wearing one is very laughable, especially as somebody who's lived here 14 years. So it's quite dumbfounding, this one. I'm not saying that all British people think this way, but the ones that do, I'd be very interested to hear. Do they think that way because they met an American in 1994 and they've just held on to that belief? Or are American tourists still wearing bum bags? Do people carry cash? But I don't. I can tell you this, I don't have a bum bag / fanny pack radar, right? I am not constantly surveilling the populace to see whether they do or do not have a fanny pack. But my feeling is I don't remember seeing one in a while. So I think this is one very time-specific stereotype.
Yeah, I don't know where that stereotypes came from because like when I think about like movies, shows, the videos I watch, I don't think I've actually seen one.
No, I wouldn't say that Americans wear bum bags more than us.
Yeah, I don't know about that
vice
one.
versa.
Right, that can now be laid to rest, all right?
Americans don't
And
say
yes,
autumn.
I thought I'd include one that was quite topical, not just because
Wait.
we are.
Do we say autumn?
Autumn. We say autumn.
Autumn.
Spring, summer, autumn, winter.
Oh, wait, they say
What do you
fall. I'm getting confused.
We say spring, summer. Yeah, because you're turning into an American, aren't
I
you?
thought we said fall. And they say autumn.
I really am losing my British side. I really am.
It's getting really confusing.
Yeah.
You know? It's getting really confusing.
Yeah, I bet.
Like, I'm genuinely forgetting what we say.
To say you've never actually met an American person.
Well, you gotta
in
think,
person.
for the past year and a half, I only talk to Americans.
Oh my gosh, yeah. We say spring, summer, autumn, winter.
Right, I thought we said fall, they said autumn.
Are in the autumn, but also because I mentioned this fact on my YouTube short yesterday. Now, while for reasons that were laid out in that YouTube short, Americans prefer the term fall, I was surprised to find that the word autumn was pretty common among Americans. I don't know if this is
Oh,
a
they say
recent
both.
thing, like the whole country just woke up one morning and watched Lost in the Pond and thought to themselves, yes, we're changing things now. Or if it's just sort of always been here as an alternative to fall. And you might be thinking, ooh, Lawrence, aren't there many surprising word alternatives that Americans use that Brits don't know about? And the answer to that is yes. I merely brought this one up so I could make that very point. This is
Loads.
undoubtedly a pandemic era thing, but I've seen an increasing number of Americans using the word jab to mean shot. I once worked with an American colleague.
Wait, did we say jab or shot? We say
Jab.
Oh, they say shot. Like, they go get a shot.
Yeah, we say jab.
Who like to use the word bonkers. So in part because of the internet, just as Britain is taking on quite a few Americanisms, I think the same is true in reverse, and it will be very interesting to look further into those details. And those are just a handful of myths that some Brits believe
Boom.
about America and America.
Wow.
There we go. Your American
Wow,
stereotype
wow.
myths.
Yeah.
You learn anything?
Yeah, I have actually.
What did you learn?
That the Romans was nowhere near America.